Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Quick History. A little bit of something different for you today. Instead of just building knowledge, which is obviously very important, what we also need to be able to do is we need to be able to use that knowledge. We need to be able to use that knowledge to be able to answer a question in our GCSE exam. And what we're going to do in this short video here is we're going to look at how to answer question 1, which is a 4-mark question and which will be based upon a source. What we're going to look at here is the June 2018, so last year's GCSE paper. We're going to look at the June 2018 question, and we're going to look at the source, and I'm going to provide you and talk you through an exemplar answer. So, here's a question. Source A supports the Gallipoli campaign. How do you know? Explain your answer using source A and your contextual knowledge. Well, if we take a quick look here at the source insert, we can see here, this is source A. It's a cartoon entitled An Important Step. It's published in a British newspaper in April 1915. The figures behind the tree represent Turkey and Great Britain. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to know just by looking at the top part of the source. This information here, particularly about the Germans and the Turkish being behind the tree, is not really information that would have been provided to you if you were reading the newspaper in 1915 or if you were reading the source in a historical textbook or a journal article. They've given you that information there to try and give you a little nudge in the right direction. And this information here at the top is very, very important. So tip number 1 when you go into your exam tomorrow is to not rush and to read all of the information available. Don't just look at the source. Don't just look at the tag. Make sure you look at the source tag. Make sure you digest the information at the beginning, and then make sure you digest everything that's going on in the source. Because there is a lot going on in the source itself. We can see here an Allied troop coming off HM troopship, looking confident, looking strong. He's got his weapon up, looking confident and ready to fight. That is counteracted here by the Turkish and the Germans, who appear to be cowering in fear of the British soldier behind a tree. What we can also see, as it says at the top and as it says here at the bottom, is that this is called an important step. And an important step about what is the key question? Well, we have some clues here about the Gallipoli Peninsula. It's also in the question that it's talking about the Gallipoli Peninsula. And as we can see here, we've got a troop ship which has been sailing up the Dardanelles and is clearly trying to implement the tactics of the Gallipoli campaign. So once we've absorbed all that information, we now need to do something quite simple, but very important and very easy to get wrong, which is to answer this question. So how does source A support the Gallipoli campaign, and how can we use the source and our contextual knowledge to support that, to answer the question? Well, what I've provided for you here is an example answer, and I will leave a copy of this example answer in the description below. And as I've put here at the top, the key to question 1 is 2 points. You've got to make a point, you've got to support the point with contextual knowledge, or the source, or both, and then you've got to do it again. If we make a point and then support the point with contextual knowledge and or the source, you're going to get 2 marks. If you do it twice, you're going to get 4 marks. So what I've done here is I have provided you with 2 brief paragraphs which will help you answer the question and get your 4 marks. Now, one thing I would also say as a piece of advice when it comes to question 1 is don't take too much time. This should be a 5-minute answer. Okay, 1 paragraph, 5 minutes. I've just separated into 2 here so you can see where my 2 individual points are. In the exam, it should look like this. But there are some key things which will help you get the attention of the examiner and make sure that you know that the person who's reading your exam script is picking up the points that you're trying to make. First of all, use the language of the question to begin. Source A supports the Gallipoli campaign in 2 ways. Straight away, the examiner who's marking your paper understands straight away that you're going to make 2 points. You've got the idea of what you've been asked to do. They're now going to have a quickly read through your exam and try and find those 2 points. And if you've done so, you'll be awarded the marks. Firstly, the source tells us that the Gallipoli campaign was an important step. From my own knowledge, I know the British launched a Gallipoli campaign to try and open a supply line to Russia and open a third front, which would weaken Germany's ability to fight on the eastern and western fronts. So what I've done here is I've made a point, which I'll do in red, and then I've explained it, which we'll highlight in yellow. Whilst I've explained it, I've used a little bit of my own subject knowledge, and as a result of that, I'm going to be picking up 2 marks. I'm going to be picking up a mark for making the point. I'm going to be picking up another mark for the explanation. I've then gone on to make a second point that the source supports the Gallipoli campaign because it's demonstrating that it's been successful. How is this source demonstrating that the Gallipoli campaign has been successful? Well, in this occasion, I've used the source, and I've used the example of the British soldier coming ashore looking strong and confident, whilst the Germans and the Turkish cower behind a tree looking scared. This supports the Gallipoli campaign because it tells the readers at home who would have been reading the newspaper that the battle was going well. So there we have it. 4 marks, 2 very simple things to do there. We've got to make a point, we've then got to support the point with contextual knowledge and or the source. Once we've done that, we simply need to repeat the process. If you need any help or any assistance with the Gallipoli campaign, there will be some videos on my channel which address both the planning and the initial attack of the Gallipoli campaign and the aftermath of the initial failure. And I will leave a copy of this example answer in the description, as well as a link to the exam paper and the insert. Make sure you check on the next video where we're going to demonstrate how to do the much more difficult 12-mark question. I'll see you in that video.